All right, district breakdown. We are talking 5A Division One with our guy Matt Diggs from the oldcoach.com. Diggsy, we know what the deal was last year. Nobody was going to beat Ryan in the entire state, but definitely in
Right.
the district. And I know you also work in tiers. So how are we doing with tier one and tier two in this district? And who do you think is going to maybe come out on top?
Well, I have to make a little pun on the words because I think the tears are going to go to Denton Ryan this year. The crying kind of a tears because I don't think they're going to be repeating as state champions this year. But you know what I really am impressed with Denton Ryan is like for the last 5 to 7 years, they have played a lot of sophomores. Even when they've made it to the fourth or fifth rounds about every year the last 5 years, and almost every year there's a core of two or three sophomores that really give them hope. And this year it was Anthony Hill, Jordan Bailey, and Colt De La Torre. And Anthony Hill, I think, is really going to be a special player. So they've got those three sophomores that are really the benchmark and could be the future. And Hennigan, he'll play a player two ways. So I imagine we're going to see both of these players on offense, all three of these on offensive defense as the season progresses. But it also came out in the last week that they lost one of their best players coming back, Bear Alexander. He's going to be a Brewer Bear, and the Bear goes to the Bears. So it's going to be a huge pickup for Fort Worth Brewer. I wish we would have known that when we talked about Fort Worth Brewer, because that might have escalated their position and their tier, so to speak. But Denton Ryan is still clearly a tier one, but I don't know if they're tier one in the state, but they are tier one in the district. This is still Denton Ryan's district, win or lose.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the Frisco teams that are in that district and figure out who you think might make those last three playoff spots, because this is a 9-team district, so they only have 2 games to warm up before they start getting at it.
And it was crazy last year. This was one of those, Odessa Permian coin flip back room kind of things to get the playoff teams. Very, very talented from top to bottom. I think Lone Star is the second team, and I think Lone Star and Denton Ryan this year are really, it's going to be a main event kind of a game. I see you with your camera there and just loving the highlights for a Lone Star Denton Ryan game. Garrett Rangel is a fantastic player. Ashton Jeanty is a really good receiver they've got coming back. They got two really good linemen, offensive linemen. And when you have that offensive core, you got 4 really good players coming back in this kind of a shootout district. It's going to be a really good team. But from there, I really like Frisco Wakeland. I think they're a team on the way up. And Frisco Reedy also is a team on the way up for me. They got a quarterback, A.J. Padgett, coming back. I also think the Colony might kind of sneak in that 4th position. They lost the coin flip issue with the tiebreakers last year with all of they were only 4-2, but they went by wins in this district instead of wins and losses or percentages. So there was a big tie at 4 wins. But Shafiq Taylor is a two-way player, really good player for the Colony. I think he's going to be a difference maker. And I know one of your favorite teams, Ward, I hate to say this, I think Frisco Independence is on the way down this year. I think they're going to be a tier 3 team. I don't think they're even going to be a serious threat to compete for the playoffs. But now they've got a little bit of locker board material. They can cut that clip out and play it all off season and make us look bad, or make me look bad. I know you're on that Independence train.
There you go. Yeah, don't loop me in with you, for God's sake.
Okay.
Hey, I guess finally, do you have any other players that you think we might need to keep an eye out for?
Those are really the core players. I mean, there's, you talked about Frisco Heritage has a lot coming back. A lot of their skill players are coming back. But I think Frisco Centennial, Frisco Heritage, and Denton, I really want to get on that Denton bandwagon. There's a lot to like about Denton. It's kind of like those Katy schools. You got some really good Katy teams. You got some really, the struggle teams that struggle. And Denton is really in a great area to play football. I feel like they're always poised to bust out. Will this be the year? I don't know if this will be the year, but I think Denton is also kind of a team I'm going to watch. But in a district like this, it's just they're not given any favors in their competition. So I feel like this is going to be a fun district, a lot of big names as we talked about, and there are going to be a lot of fun football games in this district and a lot of high scoring games in this district.
I'd like to hear highlight-wise. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to next week as well as we talk 6-5A Division One. Thank you very much for joining us, Diggy.
Thank you for having me again.